Hey guys, today we're taking a look at the rest of the cards in Primal Origin. Again, a lot of great cards coming in this pack, and now we're going to talk a little bit more about the spells and traps and some additional monsters that are being added in this pack. So first off, Noble Knight Brothers, really interesting card, 2400 defense for a 4-star monster, and allowing you to swarm out your Noble Knights really nicely, so you can easily bring out 3 Noble Knights and make your plays. So that can be really useful, and it has draw power and abilities to recycle Noble Knights, so that can be really interesting. And then Noble Knight Ektar, really nice, giving you access to a 5-star swarming card, so Noble Knights will be able to make those plays a little more easily, and also the fact that he kind of ensures the fact that you get those XYZ or synchro plays, which is nice as well. And then the Sylvans are getting a new card, Sylvan Princess Sprout. This one's really interesting, allowing it to special summon itself and become whatever level you want. So with this card, you can have even more Sylvan plays, and you won't have to rely on swarming out 7 or 8 stars just to make those plays happen, because this card can become whatever level you want, which is really nice. And it also has the fact that it can guarantee itself to get to that top card spot, so you can make out that excavation. And then Bujincident, so another Bujin card. Man, I can't believe they're putting this one out. So this one's going to be like another Honest for them, because you can use it from the graveyard to do even more battle wins. This is going to be crazy for Bujins. Bujins are going to have so much attack boost, it's going to be very difficult to take them down in battle. So I'm a little worried about this card. And then Vampire Vamp. I really love the fact that Vamps are getting a new card, because I really like that archetype. This one is level 7. 2000 looks really bad just by stats, but it gains benefit from the fact that it has low attack. So it equips monsters to it that has lower attack. So very powerful. And then it gains attack, so it becomes really strong. And then on top of that, it is able to special summon itself and bring itself back out. And it'll keep activating its effect when you summon out more vampires. So very powerful card. I really like what vampires are going to be able to do with this. And then Phantom King Hydrid, just another random card being added. Just a tuner that can make itself not a tuner, which is just a weird concept, but will allow you to make plays if you play a deck that swarms a lot of tuners and sometimes doesn't have a non-tuner that you need to use. So this one will be a little more versatile with the plays you can make. Another random Penguin card being added, Bolt Penguin, just pretty bad stats, level 3, not much to say there. Can help you out, I guess, with those Penguin plays, but rather have effect monsters. Rose Archer, just a support card for plants that allows you to get rid of traps, so that's something that if they want to deal with that. Shogi Knight, sort of a swarming card that deals with traps, allowing you to destroy traps and special summon so you can make 3-star plays, so that's kind of interesting. And then Gimmick Puppets are getting another new monster. So this one allows you to swarm Gimmick Puppets from your hand, which is really nice because some of those Gimmick Puppets can be difficult to get out, those higher level ones. So this one will be really interesting, and getting Gimmick Puppets to the graveyard can be very helpful to make some plays as well. And then ZWs are getting another card. This one I really like because it allows you to bring back Utopia, so it gives ZWs some recovery power for the card that they need. And then Galaxy Dragoon. So at 2004 star, its big drawback is that it can only attack dragon type monsters, but this one's an anti-dragon tech card, really strong, that it negates all dragon effects and it becomes 3000 attack, so can be very powerful against a deck that runs mostly dragons. And then 100-Footed Horror, just one of these cards like kind of like Barbaros and Fusilier, these cards that you can just normal summon and they become low attack, but it's 7 stars, so if you are doing a 7-star focus deck, this could be really interesting to make some big plays. And now the spells that are being added in this pack. So Noble Knights are getting their field card. Really nice, just allowing you to constantly do stuff when you have a lot of Noble Knight cards in your graveyard. So you can do a lot of stuff as more Noble Knight cards get there. But you need a variety of different names. But again, that's not a big deal for Noble Knights because of how they work. So I'm interested in seeing how people work with that field card. And Reverse Breaker, another Utopia support equip card. This one I really like, allowing you to deal with traps, which is one of the big things when you're running these Utopias that swarm out quickly and bring out higher ranked stuff that you wanted to be able to deal with, like Dimensional Prison and things like that. Galactic Charity, a draw power card for galaxies. So definitely interesting because getting to galaxies to the graveyard is good for you, and then you get some draw power, so that's pretty nice. Obviously the drawback, your opponent is taking less damage, but you're setting up additional plays later on. And then another rank up card being added, the 7th one. This one's a really weird one. You can only use it when you draw it during your draw phase, but if you can do that, you'll be able to special summon like whatever you want. So that can be very, very powerful. And then 10,000's Throne, just another support card for numbers and number Cs, allowing them to gain life points and bring out the monster you want. So another interesting card for them. And then a couple of the artifact support cards. I think they're both really good. Artifact Ignition, allowing you to set an artifact right from your deck, which is really, really nice, and also allowing you to destroy a spell or trap on the field. So very, very powerful. And like a lot of cards, if your opponent destroys it, they get a negative effect, which is they have to skip their next battle phase. So very, very good card for artifacts. And Artifacts Unleashed. So this one's really nice, allowing you to make an XYZ summon whenever you want. So if things are going to get destroyed or the field's going to turn into a bad situation, you can just use this card to quickly XYZ summon, which can be very, very nice. And again, a negative effect if your opponent destroys it, that you can get some draw power. And then Sylvan Charity, an interesting card to kind of set up what Sylvans need to do. So sort of a draw power, sort of a card where you have to set up things. The big negative is that if you don't get a Sylvan monster, then you kind of have to get rid of your whole hand. But Sylvans usually won't have that issue because they'll usually know what's right at the top of their deck. And then Ghostricks are getting another field card. I don't know if they're really going to run this. I don't know why they keep making more Ghostrick field cards. There's just too many at this point. But this one just allows you to keep searching out things, which is interesting for setting up what you need to do. But I would think you'd want to have your normal Ghostrick field card to do your plays. But still thinking about it, seeing what it can do. Koa'ki are getting a complete search spell, which is very, very nice. Getting whatever Koa'ki card that you want, and also has an additional effect that's very good that you can keep your Koa'ki from being destroyed. And then Scraps are finally getting their field card, which means I'm going to probably want to run Scraps now. This field card is so important for how Scraps run, so I definitely am looking forward to this, helping them do what they need to do. And then Forbidden Scripture, just an interesting one to negate everything on the field and make things original attacks, so that's an interesting one. So Jackpot 7, another win condition that they're adding to the game. This one's a really weird one. You have to have your opponent destroy it, but if you're able to get your opponent to destroy it, you'll be able to win the duel once you have 3 of them banished. So that can be very, very interesting, and I'm sure there people will start to run decks that focus on getting this card and activating that effect and winning the duel. So now the other traps that they're adding in. Double Dragon Descent, just a really weird card, kind of using an XYZ Dragon Monster light one from your extra deck in order to, win a battle or sort of like protect yourself from a battle. It's a weird card, and I'm not really sure if people are going to use it, but I guess it could be pretty useful. There's some other cards that do similar things that you might want to use, but still thinking about it. Tachyon Castle, I think this card's really, really good. Just allowing you to destroy all your opponent's face-up monsters and allowing you to resummon those Galaxy XYZ. So I think if you're using Galaxy XYZ monsters, you can make really great use of this card. And then Last Counter, just an interesting card for battling boxers, helping them sort of win battles and set up what they need to do. Weird card, but I can see some use of it. And then Artifact Sanctum, another really good support card for artifacts, allowing you to special summon an artifact from your deck, which is very, very powerful. You won't be able to attack, but not really the biggest deal because you're setting up the plays that you want to do. And again, if it gets destroyed, you'll be able to activate an additional effect to destroy things. And then Sylvan Waterslide, a really interesting card that allows you to keep excavating, which is very, very good. It'll allow you to just excavate over and over and over again. And yeah, it's just allowing you to keep having excavation power regardless of what's going on, which is really interesting. And then Ghostrick Night, another Ghostrick card. This one's really, really weird. It makes it so your opponent can't flip summon, which makes sense because Ghostricks want to keep them face down. But the big thing is that you might also want to make Ghostricks not face up. So that's a really weird card, but I can see some plays you can do with it. And then Bujincident. So this is a really weird card. Basically, getting rid of your Bujin XYZ monster and bouncing everything off the field, making no one able to summon. It's just a really weird card, but allows you to kind of stall and switch up what's on the field and bring your XYZ monster back. So really, really interesting, and will allow Bujins to do some really crazy stuff. And the Monarchs are getting another card, just allowing Monarchs to negate all the effects on the field, which is very, very powerful. Just letting them deal with whatever they need to do. They'll be able to run over things a lot more easily when everything is negated. But obviously the big deal is their Monarchs won't have access to XYZs, which could be more useful for them. But I guess when more Mega Monarchs come out, they might not focus as much on XYZs. And then Evo-Singularity, very, very good card for evils, allowing them to quickly special summon and swarm, so will be very, very powerful. And then XYZ Universe, kind of a weird card when both players are using XYZs, allowing you to get rid of them and special summon whatever card you want. So that's really, really interesting. XYZs are so prevalent nowadays that I can see this card being very useful. And the ban played on a completely anti-XYZ card, making players not able to special summon things with similar ranks or levels. So I can see this being very, very powerful as anti-XYZ tech. And Try and Guess, just a really weird card. Kind of like guessing whether you have more of a certain card in your extra deck, and if you do, you'll be able to gain life points. So it's just a weird card. I guess if you run a deck that uses a lot of something like like elemental heroes could easily gain a lot of life points, because most decks won't run as many fusions as they do. So I could see some applications for this. And then Avalon, just a really crazy card for Noble Knights. If they have a very specific graveyard setup, they can blow up everything on the field. So that can be a really, really big play if you're running a lot of those Noble Knight cards and you're getting them to the graveyard. It'll combo really well with the field card, obviously. So some of the other extra deck stuff that's coming, Gladiator Beasts are getting another fusion. This one's just allowing them to kind of bypass, things that will destroy them and keep your opponent from doing effects. So a card that will, get through backrow a little more easily than like Heraclinos or whatever. So this could be very interesting. And then Phonon Pulse Dragon. Really weird card. One of these, lower level tuner synchro monsters, but it can also change its level. So allowing you to make a lot of interesting plays, and I could see some stuff you could do with this deck and make synchro decks more versatile. And then the rest of the XYZs that are coming. So Ghostrick Socuteboss, what a great name. So very good that Ghostricks are getting a level 2 XYZ. That's pretty powerful. So now Ghostricks have an XYZ for every level they have, which will allow them to make whatever plays they want. So you can use whatever Ghostricks you need. This one's a destruction card, so definitely nice that Ghostricks have that, allowing them to destroy if they have a lot of Ghostricks on the field, which can be very nice. And blowing up your opponent's monster zone, which is really interesting. So if you can activate this effect a few times, your opponent's going to get completely locked down, which will be really useful for Ghostricks. And then Bujinki Amaterasu, so I'm not really sure about this one. Basically allowing you to recycle your Bujins, but because it requires 3 level 4s, I'm not sure about it. But being able to special summon those Bujins and make additional XYZ plays will be really interesting. And then a generic 9 rank. So this one just has a variety of different effects that have to do with one card. So it has a lot of versatility. I can see decks that run a lot of level 9s would like this, so just so they can use whatever effect they want, which I can see being very useful. And then Cairngorgon, so another 2 level 4 generic one. This one's just a really weird one, allowing it to switch card effect on the field. So very interesting tech, I think, against certain card effects. There's a lot of card effects that target one card, so that can be very, very useful if you want to go against someone's effect. And Galaxy Tomahawk, I'm not really sure about this one, just allowing you to completely swarm these level 6 tokens, but your opponent won't take any damage, so I'm not completely sure what the point of this card is, but I'm sure there's some combinations that I'm not currently thinking about that will be useful for this. And then Shadow Lich, so this one is just allowing you to bring out tokens and kind of protect itself. It's kind of like Mecha Phantom Beast a little bit, that it swarms out tokens and keeps itself from being targeted for an attack, so definitely an interesting one. I guess I can see it being more useful than some level 3 XYZs, but I'm not completely sure right now. So those are the rest of the cards that are coming in Primal Origin. Again, I'm excited about pretty much all of them. A lot of great spell and trap support, a lot of great new XYZs, and a lot of random stuff that will be very, very helpful to certain decks. But again, I want to know what you guys think. If you guys see any of these cards and think they'll be good for your decks, let me know in the comments below. But yeah, I'm very excited and hoping to update my decks and use a lot of this new stuff. But that's about it for me. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you later.